Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, a game currently in development in early access by the folks at Game Labs, and a game that allows you to design ships and fight them in battle. We are returning to our German Let's Play series in this game, which is part of the campaign, which is still very basic. Just two countries, Germany and Britain, are in the campaign, and they are eternally at war. In our war so far, things have been going pretty damn well for us. You can see we're winning 45,000 to 6,000 in terms of victory points, but the British Navy has started to churn out a ton of warships of late. I think they were down to like 8 or 9 armored cruisers, and then the last couple of months they've bumped that up to 16, so they now have more than us. We still outnumber their battleships 6-4, but things seem to be changing a little bit in terms of the ship situation. That being said, we have been asked by the British on more than one occasion for a ceasefire, and so my assumption is that means they're on their last legs and we may be about to win a victory, but I can't be certain of that, so I guess time will tell. Now, in the event that the British are not about to surrender, we do have some reinforcements on the way, so we are actually building some new ships. You can see here that we've laid down quite a few new ships. What is it? 6 battleships of our brand new Brandenburg class battleship that has 6 2-gun turrets. So 3 2-gun turrets. So 6 heavy 11-inch guns. We also have designed a new torpedo boat class, the Death class, which we're building, like 8 or 9 of those things. And then we have a whole bunch of light cruisers under construction as well. Part of the new class. Actually, the Death class is already in service, so those light cruisers and torpedo boats are not of a new design, but they will represent considerable reinforcements for the fleet when they do arrive to help counter the new building British program. With that being said, it is August of 1892, and we are about to fight a battle off the coast of Yarmouth in eastern England. It looks like we've got 1 battleship, 2 armored cruisers, and a CL facing off against a British battleship, armored cruiser, and 2 CLs. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in, and maybe we can sink the hood. Again, this may be a really quick turnaround. You know, this could be the final battle, and then next turn the British may collapse. Or we could have hours and hours of gameplay left. I have no sense, other than the fact that we are winning, to know how close the enemy is to completely collapsing. We know they've asked for a negotiated settlement, but we don't know anything really beyond that. All right, so we've got a division of armored cruisers over here. Might as well set these guys to join the battle line. And then we've got 1 CL over here, kind of in its own thing, set to screen. We'll go ahead and set it to steady, so it's its own battle line formation. And we'll maybe have the Dresden swing out front. But right now we know that enemy smoke is to the west, so we're going to go ahead and have the battleships turn that direction. And we'll also have the light cruiser turn that way. The armored cruisers should slide in behind the battleship automatically, and we'll go ahead and speed things up to ×10. What's the Vegas over-under on the hood? Well, my odds in this game have been pretty good. Like, if I see an enemy ship in this game, in this campaign anyway, they pretty much get sunk. So. Oh. Wait, I've never seen... Okay, I was going to say, I've never seen gunfire occurring at ×10 speed. Slowed down to ×5. We've spotted the enemy ships out here. Assuming this is the battleship. Looks like it. And then this is one of the armored cruisers. Alright, so we are extreme range. The enemy cruisers certainly have better speed than us. The battleship I'm not sure about. I don't think the battleship is faster than us. We're at about 6 kilometers range. We are engaging the enemy here at this long range with all of our ships. You can see we actually got a couple of hits in on one of these warships here, which says it's suffering from some flooding. Our own ship has seen a few shell hits, but they've been blocked. And so we're trying to close the distance here. They've got their broadsides in. They've got our T crossed, if you will. You can see all the fire coming in here. All right, so we're into ×3 speed now. Closing range. All right, let's slow down. So what do we got here? We've got the light cruiser Hermes, which is taking some punishment forward on this ship. Light cruiser Ajax, and then the battleship Hood, which can make 16 knots, so in theory can't escape, and the armored cruiser Euryalus. All right, so our Dresden is almost in torpedo range. Let's go ahead and have the Frederick der Grosse swing behind the CLs. I don't think there's any risk of them firing a torpedo at us at this stage. Sorry, I should have clarified, because they already have just fired a torpedo at our battleship. I don't think there's any risk of them firing a torpedo at our battleship. You can see the Ajax just fired a torpedo at the Dresden, which it will miss, by the way. We'll get inside this and it'll miss. So we've already avoided that torpedo. It'll run behind the battleship. Not sure if it'll get to that CA. I think it won't. Oh, shit. Well, I'm not going to avoid the torpedo from the Hermes. We've fired our own back, though. So Dresden took a torpedo. Hermes just took a torpedo. Dresden is pretty much dead in the water. I wonder if we get a rear tube fire shot out. Nope, no need. She's sinking. So the Hermes is going down. Dresden, I don't think will sink. I think it'll be close, but I don't think she'll sink. The Rune, I don't know if she's taking evasive action to avoid this torpedo or not, but it's definitely going to miss. So let's get the Frederick der Grosse back out and turning back toward the enemy. We're shooting at the Ajax here. Go ahead and speed things back up to ×3. Nice penetration hit there on the Ajax from the battleship's broadside. Dresden looks like she's going to survive at least this hit. You can see the flotation damage is leveled out and we've started to pump the water out. Now Ajax may come in and try and finish her off, but Ajax has taken a punishment, a beating from our battleship here as it swings around behind it. Both of us look like we're dead in the water here. Ajax is not gonna get another fish out. All right, so Ajax is sinking, so both the enemy light cruisers are gone. That's the torpedo threat. We'll turn our battleships in to see if we can engage the enemy battleships. One downside with the Dresden taking a fish early is that our fast, nimble ship, which might have been able to get in and get a nice torpedo on the battleship, won't be so fast and nimble. In fact, she's dead in the water at the moment. I do post videos on YouTube, Kitsune. YouTube.com/historicalgamer. Okay. All right, so the Hood is closing a little bit. Our battleships do have torpedoes. I don't think the British ones do. So if we get in close, even with our battleship, we could use a torpedo against her. Meanwhile, Dresden still can't move, but the Hood is closing on it anyway. Maybe she'll get a torpedo from stationary. All right, let's move this battle line in. The armored cruisers of ours don't seem to be taking any enemy fire yet, so they're just getting their guns in without too much damage. Dresden can't maneuver, but she does have 7 fish. So let's get in shooting, boys. I need to change the torpedo to aggressive. I'd rather... Nope, there we go. Fish out. So Hood is already taking quite a bit of punishment, but we've got a torpedo on the way. She's going to try and avoid. I don't think she will. She did get a nice salvo there at the Dresden, but certainly worth a fish on this battleship here. And boom. 600 damage. Looks like 5 compartments here in the rear of the ship are flooding. Now, Frederick der Grosser is going to suffer some speed problems because our funnel is damaged or destroyed, which is going to hurt our engine efficiency, which means we probably won't be able to chase the enemy down in the event that they try and escape. But the Hood taking a torpedo, especially in her screws, I imagine. Oh shit, this guy has torpedoes. This must be a new British armored cruiser design, because the previous ones did not have torpedoes. Well, Frederick der Grosser just took a fish. It looks like it's only flooding the 3 forward compartments, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, he surprised me a bit there. Frederick der Grosser now has a torpedo out at the Euryalus. Got a nice hit there on the rear of that ship. I would like to take command of you, Frederick der Grosser. Don't run away. All right, let's actually do this. So let's bring the Rune in. She has torpedoes as well. No reason to avoid and run. Let's go ahead and close the distance and use the torpedoes to finish these guys off. Why are you not turning? I don't want you to like let the... Dresden's still dead in the water, huh? Alright, Rune. Thread the needle, get between these 2 enemy ships and finish them. 1 torpedo on each side of your ship should be good. Why are you turning away? I didn't order you to do that. You suffered some flotation damage. That's fine. This is an absolute shit show of a battle here. Hood's superstructure is in trouble. 40% structural integrity. Euryalus is at 45. The small guns here are playing havoc. All right, Rune, fire your fish. There we go. Torpedo out on the Hood. Torpedo hit a midship. Is the Hood still not going under? Do you need to fire your rear tube? Rune apparently took enough damage to not want to keep going. Who's the lead in this task force anymore? God. What a mess. Looks like it's the Victoria Louisa. Another fish into the Euryalus, which just was destroyed. I think that came from Dresden. So just the enemy battleship left. She looks like the frickin' Blucher in that Norwegian movie about... it was like a Norwegian movie, and there's a scene at one of the forts that defends against the German invasion in 1940. Every time I watch this, the AI does something spectacularly dumb, like sailing up to an immobile light cruiser to catch a fish. Yeah, okay, that's fair sometimes. Alright, Dresden took moderate damage. Ajax, Hermes, Euryalus, and Hood all sunk, with basically no loss on our end. So, yeah, the AI did not cover itself in glory there. We did take, I would say, more than a light amount of damage on those ships. That was a lot of at least superficial structural damage. But in any event, another British battleship sunk, an armored cruiser sunk, and 2 light cruisers sunk. So the resurgent British Navy takes a beating, and that brings us up to 48,000 victory points against still just 6,200. Research right now, we're focusing on big guns, which are 10 months away. I think that's the only thing that's kind of close right now, so that's the only thing I'm really investing in. Gun layout's 3 months away, but that won't matter because I could put a research behind it, but it would just speed it up by 1 month, and it would cost me 3 months on the big guns. So you get faster times if you only have 1 or 2 fleet priorities. So we'll keep it at just the big guns. We're trying to expand our dockyards to 12,000 tons. That's going to take probably like another 10 months or so. 25 ships active, 28 building, 8 repairing. We currently do have a monthly deficit of about 1.4 million, but we've got 52 million in the bank. So we can run that well over a year. All these ships will be done by then. So let's move forward to September. Peace treaty. We are winning. The British government desperately asks us to sign a peace treaty. Should we accept? No. We're not going to accept until you're surrendering. Oh boy. So, in the previous battle, we saw an example where the AI was probably not the most adept at maneuvering their shipping. Now, the AI is launching a torpedo boat ambush with 10 torpedo boats against just a battleship and an armored cruiser of ours. If this was a human player, the armored cruiser and battleship would probably be toast. At least one of them would for sure get sunk. You might lose half your torpedo boats, but if you speed in at 27 knots against slow, poorly maneuvering warships, no matter how heavy their guns are, with enough ships, you're going to get through. In my experience, in previous iterations, and I haven't played in a few patches, but in previous iterations, the AI's torpedo boats will kind of just like charge in and then hang out at around maximum torpedo range and not really attack you. So I guess we'll see if that's what happens here, because they really should just charge in. And then we'd be kind of screwed. But I guess we'll see what happens here. All right, so we're engaging. Oh my God, look at all these guys. Got a nice little hit there, though, but you can see these little fast bastards. Two torpedo mounts at the rear of the ship. A couple of guns in the front. Also curious to see if any of the new patching makes the secondaries more accurate at close range. Torpedo boats tend to be ridiculously durable in this game. Where are you going, Rune? How about you don't sail out there all by yourself? I don't want you in torpedo range of these guys. Also, maybe shoot at the one that's like 2 feet away from you. Someone's firing a torpedo. I think it's me. Yeah, we fired a torpedo. That's gonna miss. But hey, it was fun. Fun while it lasted. Rune, get that rudder hard over. He's gonna totally fire fish at you. If this armored cruiser sinks, it's not because the AI was aggressive, it's because I was dumb. But they didn't shoot at me. Interesting. Alright, so the Zephyr is almost sinking. The other thing is the AI tends to switch its fire away from ships that aren't actually dead yet. So, like, I get when an enemy ship is dead in the water, maybe not wanting to spend your limited ammunition, like battering it into submission. The flip side of that is if they're not actually going to sink, kind of negates the point sometimes. Hey, Aben, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Oh boy. Well, there's a torpedo heading at the battleship Hagen. I think it's gonna miss. It did. Nice. It only missed because the battleship was already maneuvering. All right, let's detach the battleship here and keep it turning. I will say the other AI ships have closed the distance. Oh God. One torpedo hit, the other one missed close. And I think my rudder's gone. No, not yet. But my turn apparently is not occurring, so we're going to take another torpedo here. This might be the biggest defeat I've ever suffered in this game. I have no speed left on the battleship. The torpedo boats just need to close in and finish me, and it's over. Again, these torpedo boats are still too ridiculously durable. A 10-inch HE shell hitting one of these things should basically be curtains, let alone a few. I'm all for deadly fast torpedo boats, but they shouldn't be bullet sponges. Yeah, I mean, it's auto, so in theory the AI should know to use HE, but I guess we can set it to that. Hey, we got the Zephyr. We got one of them. Why are you shooting at the... Well, I guess maybe because you can't bury your guns there? But how about you shoot at the one that's literally right in front of you? I guess most of your guns probably can't train, so why don't you turn? There you go. Obliterate that fawn. Like, what are these guys doing over here? You've got a battleship on the ropes, and you're sailing with 4 of your torpedo boats. Where? Maybe that was the secret to beating the torpedo boats, is just switching to manually controlling HE, because we sank the Fawn pretty damn quick, too. It's the long-range torpedo boat tactic. Well, that's a dumb tactic. But hey, if they want to keep away from me, give me a chance to get the Hagen out of here, I'll take it. Yeah, he's as sharp as ever. Well, because torpedo boats are so damn durable, I always have a tough time actually sinking enough of them to seemingly make a difference. But we've gotten 2 of them so far. Hagen is pretty much dead in the water. Rune, slow down a little bit so you're going to be a little bit better gun platform. Engage the swordfish. She's the closest in. Can you fix any of that engine damage? You've been sitting doing nothing for a while now. See, I turned to engage the rune with them and then they just decided to run, which, like, okay, that suits me, but as they close, switch your fire to heart. You're going to swing in behind the battleship. You're going to switch your fire to heart also. Alright, we're going to have a close scrape with the heart here, I think. I also suspect sometimes it has the AI's reluctance to engage. Oh shit. Engage probably has something. We're gonna take a fish. Probably has something to do with the way the game treats like evasive maneuvers once you have take too much damage, where the ship will automatically veer away from combat, which makes sense kind of, but maybe not if you've like convinced yourself. Oh, we lost the rune. Just 1 fish. That's all it took. Well, this battle's a defeat for sure. Can I leave yet? I mean, the AI is doing better in this battle, that's for sure. But it's still more passive than I would be. Like, you've got 10 ships, you should be all over me. Not just chilling back. Alright, so we got another nice flooding hit there. What was that hit it? A 9-inch? It overpenned on an HE? Huh. Okay. I'm reluctant to switch fire to one of these other ships, but they're closing on torpedo range. I still can't move more than 4 knots. See, he came right up, Hasty came right up to torpedo range and then just turned away. They want to pepper me with HE to death, I guess. Which, like, maybe that'll work. I don't know. Heart's flotation's down under 10%, but I think they've got it under control unless you get a hit there. They're pumping it out. Yeah. Naval version of a bear baiting? Maybe. Right, switch fire because I can't hit you reliably back there. And here comes the fish. Turn. You're gonna take it on the bow. When you can't move. Is that it? Is that curtains for Hagen? Yeah. Well, I bitched and moaned about the AI the whole battle, and at the end of the day, they still won, so. Good for them, I guess. 3,800 versus 225. They lost 2 ships. I lost 2, but obviously torpedo boats are less valuable than battleships and armored cruisers, so there you have it. The German Empire lost 22 transport sea ships in the North Sea. Holy shit. And just like that, my naval capacity is down by 13%. I have my entire fleet in sea control. And they're pretty much more good, maybe not, a lot of them are in the Baltic. Okay. Well, I don't want them in the Baltic. Move all of them. I can't imagine the British have many ships in the Baltic. So we're going to load Wilhelmshaven up with a bunch of ships. Meanwhile, we have another battle to fight this particular turn. 2 armored cruisers and a light versus an armored cruiser and 2 lights and 10 transports. So we've got a vulnerable convoy that we're raiding. Let's jump in and see how this goes. Wish we had some of those destroyers, yeah. All right, boys. Have fun. Go sink all the enemy merchants, maybe before the armored cruisers and such show up. What did it say? There were 10 transports? All right, we have 2 armored and a light. The light is probably our best ship for this, with the like 14 quick firing 7-inch guns or whatever. The Thunderer, the Oberon, epic names for less epic ships. The Tiger and Lion and Bear, oh my. We're gonna ram this guy? Ram the Thunder? That'll probably do more damage to me than it's worth. But ramming can be fun. Yep, well, we just wasted a torpedo. How about you don't shoot at that guy anymore? I imagine this guy's toast. Give the Tiger a nice little pawing. Maybe it will survive. Actually shoot back. Oh god. Another torpedo in there. Didn't quite mean it like that. I'm wasting all my fish here. That guy's not sinking yet. How's the Lion not sinking yet? Just gonna cruise right through the enemy merchant formation and wreck him. Right, the Tiger's gonna sink, right? Like once this compartment gets up to full, It's got another compartment which just started flooding, so Tiger is going to sink. Thunder is already sinking. We'll have the Augsburg come up and finish off this guy. Another fish into the Tiger. That was a waste. So we've cut the enemy convoy in half. I should turn torpedoes off. Hey, Barack, thanks for the follow, or for the comment, the kind words. I probably should turn torpedoes off, but it does make it easier to sink these guys. What's the line at? You're gonna be sinking, right? Get that compartment. Are they pumping it out? Oh, they're pumping it out. God damn. Oh, wait. Another fish. Never mind. Well, one for the road. Finish the enemy off with a torpedo there. Why is this guy not moving? Victor's sinking. Alright, these guys are going on different ships here. So the Conflict and the Oberon are the next two. Victor's sinking. Was that up to 4 or 5? We'll have the Augsburg close in on the remaining merchants. Victoria Louise stern chase against the Conflict will turn away. She's a goner. Point blank torpedo into the Conflict. This is a bloodbath, but it's not a victory yet. We got to find those remaining enemy ships, the 4 or so that turned away. Or we've got to find the enemy warships and sink them. Those are the options. Sinking half of the enemy merchants in this particular scenario won't give us a victory. There we go. Augsburg's found at least one of the enemy merchants out this way, the Delhi. Hey, Newhauser, how you doing tonight? Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, that's what's going on when you're merchant ship hunting. If you just joined, you missed enemy torpedo boats sinking an armored cruiser and a battleship of ours. All right, come on. Get a few more hits here. Alright, so Victoria Louise still has 5 fish left. Lindbergh still has 7. So despite using quite a few torpedoes against these enemy merchants, we're actually doing okay. Not really, Newhauser. They kind of stood off for most of the battle, but I don't know. I guess they launched a couple fish and had some success. I didn't see enough aggression for me to feel like it was better. Someone in the chat, I think, commented that it was probably, it felt like a bear trap. Just peppering me at range, and occasionally one would sort of duck into torpedo range. Certainly not the tactic I would use, but it worked. All right, Oberon. Good night. Let's go have the armored cruisers turn north to rejoin the Augsburg. Was chasing, I think it's just the remaining 3 enemy. There could be 4, I guess. So far, no sighting of the enemy cruisers. but they're out there somewhere. Man, we really put a lot of distance between us and our CL, though. Augsburg's going to have to be careful. Okay, so I guess it's 4. All right, broadside's going to start coming into play here. Keep up your fire, boys. Keep up your fire. I just find it annoying that I would have to tell the guns to shoot HE. Oh, that was a waste of a torpedo. What a terribly aimed shot. You are not doing very well against the Delhi here. I don't know if it's just the high speeds. We can slow you down. The other thing I wish you could do is engage from both sides. Like, I wish I could tell you to shoot at both of these ships. Oh shit. So wait, the enemy warships are behind me? I'm not going to complain about that, but there's the armored cruiser. And I'm assuming these are the 2 CLs. So they kind of come between me and the transports. I mean, that should make it easier for me to just have a standoff fight down here in the south until the battle's won in the north, because the game ends the second we sink all 10 transports, or the battle ends. Alright, I assume that torpedo is all that the Delhi wrote. It is. Switch fire to the Firefly. Move the Augsburg further north. You know, we're having some success against the lead enemy ship here. It appears to actually be a CL, Glasgow. The Diadem, and then the Essex is the CA further back. Let's turn as rapidly as we can. Glasgow is gonna maybe sink or maybe make it. I'm not sure. But I want to stay out of torpedo range if I can. Wait, I thought it was out of range. Fuck. Wonder if they upped their tech on their torpedoes. Can you turn into it? No. Slow down. Oh, we got the Glasgow with another torpedo. We fired 2. And she's going down. Thank God we got her before another shot tore into us. Looks like Victoria Louise will be okay. At least for now. Augsburg's trying to chase the Firefly here. The other guys are all in column. Lindbergh is avoiding the wreck. I do like that you have to avoid wrecks. And the way the game does treat that, I think that's a nice little feature. Essex and Diadem are sailing away, perhaps to try and catch up to the convoy. But I'd take a CL sunk and 10 transports. They just sank 22 of my merchants in the North Sea. Alright, well. Dead in the water, Firefly. Down she goes. Switch fire north to Wrangler. I am not a I am not a role model. I'm a jeans model. Alright, so moving up on the Wrangler. Alright, so keep going that way. Good on you, boys. Enemy armored cruisers appear to not want to fight. So I guess that's okay. And Augsburg's coming up here. I did slow down to try and increase our accuracy with our gunnery. Haven't been paying close enough attention to see if that worked. I think it's worked a little bit, but I'm not sure. Lost sight of our ship. Oh, I can still see it. Okay. Let's increase speed slightly. Just to get this thing moving a little bit. The enemy warships, or the enemy merchants, do have 4-inch guns on them, so they can shoot back a little bit. Okay. Alright, so did the CL turn back toward my CAs? It looks like maybe a little bit. They're also dropping smoke, so we'll adjust our formation here on the Limburg a little bit. They're still headed away from me, so it may just be a readjustment to get them back in line with the convoy, which is rapidly dying. No, I think they're actually cutting across my front. I don't want to charge into any torpedoes here. Let's veer right a little bit. I am 100% content to just let the Augsburg finish these last two merchants, and then the battle will end at that point, and I'm okay with that, I think. Alright. What I don't want to do is lose lose a ship stupidly. Enemy CAs, is this of the older class? This is a new CA class too. So this armored cruiser class, at least it looks new to me. Still doesn't have torpedoes though. We were really surprised by those enemy, that new enemy armored cruiser class that does have torpedoes though. That was not something that we had seen before. Has there been an update to the game recently, Newhauser? There's been an update since I've played. I didn't check to see what the date of the last update was. But definitely since the last, like, I haven't touched this in over a month. Maybe 2 months. Trying to remember the last time I played this. It's been a while. All right, they're cutting between my two armored cruisers. In torpedo range. No. Okay. Maybe we should be shooting at the diadem. All right, there we go. We're starting to get some hits on the Pandora. We've fired off almost all of our torpedoes in the Augsburg. Not that it matters. Still have plenty of ammo for the guns. Okay, some minor damage to the Essex, but nothing of note. We're having a hard time with port defense battles. Way too many ships to keep track of. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. I play these battles kind of on maybe faster than I should. Kind of play them on warp speed. I kind of play Rule of Waves the same way. But if you go to like real time, it is much more manageable. I could see once things get hectic though, that may be a problem. I would imagine that the game developer's intent is for you to use the division commands to simplify your commands in big battles where you can just give an order to one ship and then a whole bunch others follow you, but I'm not sure it's I'm not sure I trust just the line ahead or line abreast to kind of follow the leader type mentality in large battles like that. All right, our torpedo missed. Pandora is pretty much dead in the water. Six. All right, switch your fire. You tried that and it was demo derby with your ships. Hey, you know what? Ramming is fun. It's really hard to make a game that works well with 1 to 4 ships per side or with 15 plus. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair statement, Amaris. Doesn't mean that it isn't frustrating, but, you know, I think that's a true statement. All right, so we just need to sink the Pandora, I think, and the battle's over. Because the ships will magically teleport away from each other. Augsburg has run out of ammo on its fish, fired the last one off. And I think that'll be it for the Pandora. Another torpedo crashed into her. Floats on the way down. That's holding it? Okay. And that's the end. Mission accomplished. Victory won. Well, it said mission accomplished. It didn't pull us out of the battle, though. So do we have to fight this? Shit. No! I wasn't paying attention. I assumed the battle was over because that's how it always used to work. Limburg just took a fish. One into the diadem also. Limburg, I think, will survive. Victoria Louise survived. Fire torpedo out this way. Fire one at the Essex on your other side. You've got to have those torpedo tubes unloaded or loaded up on that side, right? Another torpedo is going to hit Limburg. We're going to lose it. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's more the damage from flooding than anything. It took 2 fish and she's still okay. By the way, we put one into Essex. Limburg's second fish and she barely budged. You know, like goddamn enemy CL just fired another fish. This one to Victoria Louise. I don't know if taking fish on the bow is a smart move. I think they do more damage that way. Should we exit here? I'd rather sink the enemy. Let's get diadem before we withdraw. Also, well, you're not shooting HE. Right, diadem sinks. Can we finish off the Essex? That's interesting, though. Again, in the past, the game treated it as once you accomplish your objective, the battle ends. That obviously isn't the case anymore. Essex is trying to escape. We've got 2 crippled CAs back here against the one enemy CA. They outgun us 8 to 7 inches, but obviously we've got double the guns. So from a pure weight of iron perspective, we've got the advantage. Now our ships are all badly damaged, which does influence your accuracy and things like that with your main guns. Our light cruiser is trying to book it back. But the enemy's just steadily cruising away. Also, my light cruiser has no more fish. So I do see the end battle button, cold steel. That didn't show up initially, though. That didn't show up right away. My point is that usually in the past, the game would always just auto end if you hit your objective. At least that was my experience. And it wouldn't even give you the option of continuing to fight like we are right now. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to catch up to the Essex, and I don't even know that I want to try with that CL coming down from the north. So I think we'll just end it. I just keep waiting for maybe there'll be a catastrophic hit, maybe. But neither of my ships can make more than 10 knots. So we'll end the battle. All right, so that is victory. We sank 10 enemy transports or merchant ships. We sank 2 CLs. Damaged moderately the Essex. We lost, or didn't lose, but we had a heavily damaged CA and light damaged CL. 2,200 to 6,500 victory points. That's a victory. The enemy loses another couple of light cruisers, which brings them down to 12. And that does it for September. So we'll move forward to October. And it looks like we got another convoy battle, 2 CAs versus 1 CA and 2 CLs. Finances, it looks like we repaired about 3% of our transport capacity, back up to 90%. Naval prestige is honorable. Unrest is respected. Our ships that are being constructed, 9 months on the battleships, 2 months on the torpedo boats, 7 on the CLs. Research is 8 months away on the big guns, 1 on the gun layout, and 38% of the way to 12,000 tons on the dockyards. This is the campaign Oak. Played it a couple of times. It's pretty limited at the moment. This is not the intended final version of the campaign. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. We've had a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back, hoping to win the war for Germany soon. But I don't know when that soon is going to be. The AI is building ships more aggressively than in any previous conflict, and so while they have begged for peace a few times between months, they have not yet collapsed, and it seems like they're, at least in theory, a more robust opponent than we faced in our previous campaigns. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.